Right, this is ESPN Cricinfo Match Day, and so much to talk about. Even though we've just had 2 days of cricket in the second test, this ping ball test at the Adelaide Oval, capacity crowd got to see a Travis Head 100, and then also got to see the bowlers rip through half of India's batting towards the end session of the second day. So, Sanjay Manjrekar, let's try and make sense of it all, and let me ask you why we saw a final session where brilliant balls got rid of India's batters, in-form batters, we can call some of them. At the same time, they're going at over five, and yet they find themselves far behind in the test match.
Yes, I think the main reason for that is the quality of Australian bowling and conditions favorable under lights. The ball was hard, and they have a few problems, Australia, even in the last test, but it was mostly to do with their batting. Their bowling has a lot of quality to the extent that Nathan Lyon wasn't needed because whatever happens, Nathan Lyon is one of their go-to bowlers. And with Josh Hazelwood gone, Scott Boland's coming in and making sure there was no drop of the difficulty factor for India, just showed the depth as well, and something that we expected. I think Boland is a fine bowler, and India just saw that reality in that last session.
Yeah, I want to go one by one with the wickets, or at least try and analyze the wickets for deeper with you, Sanjay. And I want to start with the big two, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. And Kohli, who you have had strong opinions on, and we've now perhaps seen a trend of how the ball outside off stump troubles him. Today, though, there's bat and pad touched each other. I wonder if this one you just gave to the bowler.
I don't have strong opinions on Virat Kohli. I just say the truth or the facts that I see in front of me, and it's something that I've said before as well. The technique that is developed to counter that line outside off some swinging ball has not really made his life easier. When he got that 100 Raunak in the last game, I thought, okay, let's find out whether just the dearth of runs is contributing to his mistakes that he's making. Now, with the monkey off the back, you expected a Virat Kohli a lot more relaxed and, looking in better shape. But clearly, that was a problem earlier of no runs and plus a technical issue. But after getting 100, that he was troubled by that same line shows that he's got this serious technical issue that he just can't find a solution to.
Now to Rohit Sharma, and would we look at these two innings and say, oh, Rohit's woefully out of form? It does seem, from at least my eye, that he's got two peach deliveries, and we've discussed this before, haven't we? Why does Rohit keep getting these unplayable balls, or is there more to it?
There's more to it because even in India, on those kind of pitches, people like Matt Henry were troubling him. There was one, innings where there was a review that saved him, but soon after he was out, the ball going through his defense in that very same way, where he takes a small step forward and the bat is just sort of dangling there in a way and hoping that the ball comes and hits it. I mean, Rohit Sharma's defense has been better, but we also talked a lot about in the last couple of years where there's been so much of white ball cricket that somewhere that quality wasn't needed. That defense that he had almost mastered 3, 4 years back, especially when he had that great series in England. But now, the way he looked as well when he was batting out there, the body language just exuded complete lack of confidence. And for somebody who's struggling for runs and just coming few days before the test match, having a quarter of a warm-up game is just not ideal preparation. So things, I mean, Rohit Sharma clearly is struggling where the defense, which is the most important thing you need in Test cricket, is letting him down. He doesn't have confidence in his defense. Plus, the preparation is thoroughly inadequate for a man who is in this current shape.
And perhaps those thoughts also led to his decision of coming in the middle order and letting KL Rahul open, because Rahul is an in-form batter, as is Yashasvi Jaiswal. So let's break down the two openers and why their form hasn't carried forward from the first test in Perth to this pink ball test in Adelaide.
We also now have to look at that Perth Test match, the second innings, as a pitch that didn't quite look like an Australian pitch. I mean, it had just flattened out superbly for India. And then we had that uneven bounce coming right at the end of the Indian innings, and the Indian bowlers fed of that pitch beautifully. But Yashasvi Jaiswal clearly showed some class there. Uh, in this Test match, I think Boland has been a problem for him because, when you're so focused on a particular ball that you've got to be careful of the ball that is coming up. And he's a new entity in this bowling lineup where he's getting that movement, whether it's outside off or in the stumps from a shorter leg. So Jaiswal, I thought, the scores are suggestive of the fact that he's still got some way to go before he can become that consistent, top order batter, and it's not easy in Australian conditions. As for KL Rahul, who looked, I thought, India's best batter in both innings in the last test, he may not have got as many runs as some of the others, but looked really compact. But it's a temperamental issue that we've seen with KL Rahul over his 50 odd test matches, where, when he gets runs, the KL Rahul that you see in the next game doesn't look anything like the KL Rahul who has just got 100 or a 70. It's almost like he puts even more pressure on himself that he's got to get runs now and does. Internally, I think he just makes life difficult for himself. It's unbelievable that we've got six instances that we've talked on this platform before where he's got 100 and then the rut begins where he averages about 20 in the next 8 or 9 innings. Now, after that 70, which is as good as the 150, he's got out twice. So it's a KL Rahul story, and let's hope, it ends here and we see a good score in the next test match from him.
In a three, Shubman Gill, his first game of the series, and he's looked good in both innings and then gotten out. Can you explain that?
I loved the way he shaped up defensively. He's got this big, massive trigger movement going right back, which means a short ball, he's in a great position to play. Short of length, a short ball. So he's not like one of the Indian batters who will be forward unnecessary. So he's got into a good backfield position. Obviously, for these kind of batters like Hashi Mamla and all those guys who took a big back foot trigger movement, Steve Waugh as well. If the ball pitched up and swung, it can trouble them. But even those deliveries in the first innings and the second inning, he just got a great stride forward. But what I've seen once he gets into the 30s and 20s, somewhere I think he, rightly so, feels that he's also got to be a little dominating, be a little attacking in these conditions against this opposition. So a couple of loose shots after reaching 30 and 20. I thought both were loose shots, and those balls, if they were bowled to Shubman Gill in the first over that he had come into bat, he would have been much tighter in the way he played those shots.
Did Rishabh Pant then show the way, perhaps, or is that only something Pant can do? You can step out and smash Boland and play reverses and whatnots because you need to attack bowlers with the pink ball moving under lights.
Uh, See, Rishabh Pant has a good defense as well. If there's one thing that I've noticed here in this Australian series is that he's not trusting his defense too much. There have been occasions in the past in South Africa, in England, Australia, where he's happy to just go out there and defend for the first 40 minutes, even against the second new ball. But here, for some reason, he's not trusting his defense as much. So you see this kind of batting, the Pant special hitting that we see where the ball is in the stands and he's on the ground. I think he's doing it a little more because of maybe not wanting to defend as much. Uh, Picks the right bowler to do it. That is very smart. But I mean, no other batter can actually take a leaf out of that book, can
Hmm.
they? So somewhere India's problem has been defense of much of their main batters, especially Rohit Virat. It's just come down to both senior batters not trusting their defense or not having confidence in their defense.
Yeah, I think you made the point of trusting his bowlers. All those funky shots came against Scott Boland in particular. Otherwise, we saw the punt that you speak of. Let's go back earlier in the day. Is it fair to say that India find themselves batting in the most challenging conditions because Travis Head made life very difficult in the afternoon? There was a period when he lost a couple of set batters where he just shifted gears and went mad, almost 15 overs before the second new ball. Break down the impact of the innings and what stands out for Travis Head. We've seen the Travis Head show before. What can you say about today, though?
Interesting, just comparing a pink ball test match played in India. I remember Ahmedabad, where India beat England in just about 2 days. Night time was a good time to bat, and all the damage would happen in the afternoon with the Indian spinners on a rank turner. Here it seems to be the other way around. Having said that, also I think all of us must acknowledge the fact that 56,000 people came to watch this pink ball day-night test match. So that is great for test cricket. That said, Travis Head, the only batter I feel, having watched him today as well, the way he started off, his first 25, 30 runs, I think that is the leaf, from his book that other batters can take because a lot of the batters on both sides are so consumed by their own issues with defense and how they want to go about getting their innings going, that their minds are cluttered. I think there are a lot of batters on either side where their minds are focused on things that, understandably, when you're slightly out of form, they tend to cloud your mind. Travis Head, when he comes into bat, you can see he's only thinking runs. He's looking at the ball, his feet don't move as much. You see him, he's all hands as well. Helps that he bats down the order as well. But he's one guy from both sides whose mind is as clear as it can be. And he knows the basic purpose and his main goal of going out there is to start looking for runs from ball number one. And I think that is something that a few other batters could replicate, because what Pant does, not too many people can do.
Did India do everything they could have done, though, to limit the damage? A lot of reliance on Bumrah, to a point that I'm sure Indian fans were worried at a time where he went down and started holding his groin or his hamstring. He did carry on, but Harshit Rana found it difficult. He's gone at, I think, fives. Ashwin, maybe they picked him on his experience. Could he have been used more? Your assessment of Rohit Sharma and the Indian tactics overall in what were tough conditions?
On day one, when we were having a review of the game, I felt, these days Test cricket is very difficult to predict. But the one issue that I saw coming for the Indian bowlers was that on the good length area, the pitch was really flat. There was nothing there for the bowlers of the kind that India have, like the Mohammed Siraj or Harshit Rana or Nitish Kumar Reddy. Exceptional bowlers who can still hit that length and get something out of it, which is Bumrah from India. And Mitchell Starc in the first inning showed that he doesn't need the good length area to get the wickets. So this pitch, not suitable to the style that the Indian bowlers have at Perth. They had the uneven bounce, and all Harshit Rana had to do was hit that length. But here in Adelaide, when they bowled, there was absolutely nothing from that length for India to cash in. And let's not forget Harshit Rana, second Test match, and India have gone into this series with some of their key bowlers missing. So that's understandable.
Is it just a matter of time then, Sanjay, with the state of the game and an inevitability about Australia leveling this series? Or do you sense India have missed an opportunity, even though the lead was 150? Someone would have batted like McSweeney or Labuschagne did under lights last evening, going in with more batters on day three. Maybe a different story, or is this still Test match still alive?
Very much alive in the sense that Australia are the strong favorite, but there's a guy called Rishabh Pant batting out there, and he does some very incredible things. But it seems, again, that it seems a bit far-reaching as well to think about that possibility. And it's a good question about batting like a Nathan McSween, a young player, a modern generation player whose first-class strike rate is 40, and he batted in that fashion. Labuschagne as well. That is where I expected more from the guys who came into this test match with confidence, and that's Yashasvi Jaiswal and Rahul. You have to have all the sympathy for people like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, and not expect them to come out um, you know saving India a test match or batting well, because both are clearly confronted with a lot of problems. But the guys who had a very good test match, spent a lot of time out there in the middle, could have maybe just done what Labuschagne and McSweeney and some of the others did.
Sanjay, thank you very much for your thoughts. Let's talk this time tomorrow, and let's see if we are simply discussing Australia leveling the series, or whether we've indeed seen something more exceptional, like you point out, from a man who's capable of it in Rishabh Pant. And let's not forget Nitish Kumar Reddy with all his promises with him. So we pick up the conversation with Sanjay Manjrekar at the end of day three on ESPN Cricinfo Matchday.